The feelings that you feel about a man that you're really into, and the intensity and the desire that you feel for a man, is the same feelings that a man wants to feel about the woman that is the one. When a man meets a woman that is the one and that's his wife, he wants to experience a certain set of emotions for her, because that is what drives him to continue to commit to a woman. Think about it. If a man is not feeling certain feelings, which I'll get into in this video, how is he going to know or even desire or want to continue to move to other levels of commitment with the woman? Because men are not hardwired to settle down, they want freedom. And if a man is going to give up his freedom, then he wants to make sure that the woman he's giving his freedom up for is a woman that is going to give him a certain level of desire in him, and it's going to provoke a certain level of feeling within him, and he's going to feel a lifelong attraction for her. Because without attraction, men get bored in relationships and they get very compliant. They get very complacent. That's the word. They're not really driven to make a woman happy anymore because there's no attraction. And if there's no attraction, then a woman also gets more and more desperate in the situation, which further drives the man away. So in this video, I'm going to talk about certain feelings that a man needs to feel in order to know that a woman is the one, and in order to continue to pursue a woman, even into a relationship and into engagement, even into marriage. Oftentimes, the type of man that we are into may seem a little bit more unavailable to us, and oftentimes that can appear that way because a woman is more emotionally invested in the man. And so anytime one person is more invested in the relationship, the other person is going to take a step back. This is just dynamics, right? If we are too heavily into someone, or we're putting so much pressure into someone in the relationship, and that is like our entire world, then there's not enough room or space for the other person to give that level back, right? Because we want to, ultimately, we want it to be equal, but initially it's not going to necessarily be equal if attraction is your main goal. So in my channel, I always talk about masculine feminine relationships. I particularly talk about attraction. To me, it's very easy to secure a relationship. There's gazillions of people out there on the planet. It's not about a relationship, it's about attraction, and it's about lifelong love and passion in relationships. Because without the passion in a relationship, then you're settling and you're not fulfilling the role of a relationship that ultimately is it's designed for. So procreation is one thing, but a passionate, fulfilling relationship that enables you to grow is really the ultimate goal, or should be the ultimate goal, not just marriage or not just a relationship. Because if you want just a relationship, you can go on a dating app and there's always going to be someone for you. Now, the type of men that women are usually drawn to, and it is the reason why you guys are watching my videos and other YouTubers, is that man might seem a little bit more unavailable or have a little bit of an edge. This man is usually very attractive and has options with other women, and he seems hard to get. The reason that this man is so desirable to you is because you don't really know if he's super into you. And even if he showed up in a certain way in the beginning, maybe that died down. Now, these type of men that I talk about, so let's just say the empowered masculine, or the man that is more in his masculine energy, is a man that is a little bit harder to get, has more of an edge, and is very freedom oriented. This is the type of man that we as women are generally attracted to. He's also very nice, he's very charming, he's very laid back, sometimes can seem aloof, but he's very charismatic, and there's an energy about him that we just are magnetized to. These type of men also give an air of take it or leave it. Like, they desire a relationship and they want a relationship, but maybe they won't necessarily communicate that, or they won't necessarily act like it, right? They can appear almost as like a playboy. The reason these men appear that way is not because they don't want a committed relationship with a woman. Every man ultimately does. Every man, wants to be with one woman that he feels is extremely attractive. He has desire for her. He wants to come home with her. It's his best friend. Every man wants that. It's just most men don't experience having these certain feelings that I'm going to talk about in this video. And so they might not even believe that exists. And so oftentimes men will settle with women that gave them more attention than they were willing to, I guess, give her, or they wanted kids and they wanted to settle down. But in those situations, you'll find that a man doesn't have a lot of desire and pull. So even if you had kids with a man, even if you end up marrying a man, if the man is not desiring you sexually and is not very much attracted to you, then he's checked out in the relationship and the attraction is has gone down. So yes, testosterone plays a role, but again, attraction is number one, because if a man has a high sense of attraction and desire for a woman, then a man's like sex drive also goes up, right? So, and a man, his level of testosterone will also go up if a woman is learns how to evoke certain emotions in him, which also promote testosterone. So I want to get into a few things that might seem counterintuitive, but are very important for attraction. If a man is not feeling a certain level of challenge with a woman, then what tends to happen with a man that is quality is he'll get bored. So this won't apply to men that don't have a lot of options with women, because obviously a man that doesn't have a lot of options with women is not going to necessarily feel bored. His driver is insecurity, and he doesn't feel good about himself, and so he's going to need the validation from the woman. A man that has options with women, even if he ultimately starts off strong in the relationship. And this is where, this hot and cold concept comes in, because a lot of women will say, oh, he was like so hot and then he turned cold. What tends to happen in these dynamics is oftentimes women that are more in their masculine energy, they can appear grounded to these men and they can appear like a challenge, right? Masculine energy women, or women that are more in their masculine and they have not integrated their feminine, they will appear as a challenge to men because they won't necessarily put all their cards on the table right away. So they might not sleep with a man right away. They might not show over interest in a man. And so with this type of man, the empowered masculine, he looks at that as well. This is a woman that is attractive. She's not all about me. And it can appear that a woman has high self-worth, but what tends to happen in these situations is as soon as the man starts to give a little bit of attention to the woman, and a little bit of attention means that a man is just calling and text messaging. So I've been speaking to a lot of women and having email sessions with a lot of women where they'll say to me, the guy he started pursuing, and I really fell for him because he started pursuing. And when I dig a little bit more and I ask what's pursuing, it's all over text and it's all over phone. So that is not pursuit. You can read What Men Want, and I go into like how courting should be. But FaceTime, text messaging, anything like that is super low on a man's. Men don't bond over text messaging and phone calls. Like, for a man, he'll do it because he knows that women, we fall in love with what we hear from a man. That's just the truth. We want to be told that we're beautiful. We want to be pursued. And so a man knows this. And so he'll, engage in certain activities that a woman likes to ultimately get what he wants. And for a man, usually that's an ego stroke, right? Speaking to a woman and a woman just giving so much access and so much of her time to him without him having done anything is an ego stroke for a man. It's not activating his like intense feelings for a woman. It's just like checking off the box for him okay, she was playing hard to get initially, but now I just had to call her a little bit. I just had to say all the right things to her and she's like super into me already. So that doesn't evoke desire in a man. What evokes desire in a man and the feelings that a man needs to feel in order to know that you are the one for him or to move into different levels of commitment with you is anxiety, is does she like me? Is she interested in me? Fear of loss, the curiosity of is she dating other men? Am I good enough for her? So men need to feel these things. And I want you to think about the feelings that you feel for a man that you are really into, right? I've worked and coached with women that have been interested and obsessed over men for years. And the reason for that is because these men always appear unavailable. So unavailable meaning they're super nice, they're super kind, they're very charming and charismatic, but they're not super into the woman, which makes the woman hang on to the guy. And it's not that the man doesn't want to be into the woman, it's that the woman is not providing enough of a challenge and she's not feminine enough. So you can get a man in with your masculine energy because you can get him to chase you, but you can't keep him if you're not in your feminine energy. And your feminine energy is your sweetness, your allure, your attractiveness, your charisma. And if you are just very needy, very reactive, getting mad at a man all the time, that's not your feminine. And so that's not going to keep a man. So the way that you evoke certain feelings for a man is learning how to become the best version of yourself. And this is what I teach you in all of my products. The more desirable that you are as a woman, the more desirable that you feel as a woman, the more that you've done your inner work, the more that you have certain beliefs integrated within you, the more high value you appear, and the more a man is going to be interested in getting to know you, and the less you're going to get so gaga over a guy. And the less gaga you get over a guy, the more they're going to be interested in pursuing you and chasing you, and the more they're going to be curious about, how does she feel about me? Is she interested in me? Does she like me? And these are the feelings that men need to feel. Men need to feel insecurity. They need to feel like wonderment. They need to feel curiosity. They need to feel uncertainty. They need to feel these feelings, because if they don't feel these feelings, then there's no incentive for them to make you their girlfriend. There's no incentive then to make you their fiance, and then into making you his wife, right? If a man is making a woman his wife, especially a quality man that is attractive to most women, he's doing that because he's certain that she is going to provide certain feelings for him into the long run. A man doesn't want to be with a woman that is just boring, and a woman where he's not going to be attracted to her and want to have sex with her 10 years down the line. A man wants to be with a woman that knows that she's activated certain feelings in me, and she knows how to activate certain feelings in me that keep me interested in her and will keep me interested in her into the long run. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.